A guy scammed me, so I ruined his life. I am a private investigator, and about 3 years ago I was hired to do a personal contract. The client, a rich, sleazy snob, was apparently stupidly rich. He hired my unit. He believed his wife was cheating on him with other people, and he wanted proof of this so he could start his divorce process with solid evidence. He contracted us for a 6-month contract and was to pay the company X amount of dollars upon completion. So we set up surveillance cameras all over his large house and in the wife's car with the client's permission. We had at least one of the team tailing her at all times. Day in and out, we watched their lives, and in this line of work you either get detached or emotionally invested, like watching a soap opera. As we watched them, we quickly saw this lady was a saint. She volunteered at a soup kitchen and a children's hospital. She helped local churches with canned food drives, those kinds of things. She was the perfect definition of what a good human should be. On the other hand, the husband was a total sleaze. He was the one we caught many times bringing women to his house. Sometimes he would bring 2 or 3 girls in one day, and that is only what was recorded in the house. We arrived at the 4-month mark, which is basically where we show all the evidence and give the updated report. We show him everything that we found and have a 6-hour debrief with video and audio support, showing that she hadn't done anything wrong other than a speeding ticket and a few double parking situations. After we concluded the debrief, he looked stupefied. He says, "So you didn't catch her cheating? What was the point of me hiring you?" My boss, our captain, turns to him with a serious stare, which is perhaps in the most serious and badass-looking face I have ever seen in that man, and said, "You hired us to investigate your wife. You're unhappy that your wife is an honest and faithful woman?" The snob is visibly annoyed. He stands up and is getting his jacket when my captain says, "Look, there is still 2 months on the contract. We will keep tailing her, and we'll meet again after our contract is up and give you any updates." The snob turns to him and says, "Don't bother. This is over. I'm ending it. Come when she is not home and get your equipment out." So a week later, we did exactly that. Now, when contracts like this are made, a small portion is paid up front as commission fee, and the rest is paid at the end of the contract's allotted time. In his case, it is 6 months. So fast forward to the next payday after the contract is officially over. My unit gets a call from our office to come in on the next payday, as there is an emergency meeting regarding us and the last contract. We get there and find out the snob pulled the funding and refused to pay us for the work. So we're getting paid, just not with the completion bonus. We all left super angry. We went to lunch and brainstormed how to get even with the deviant. Then we remembered all the house footage of his dirty deeds. At first we wanted to blackmail him, but that's low and we're better than that. I remembered the wife, so I reached out to her. I set a date to sit down and explain everything to her. I showed her the videos. She cried for a good half hour. I think I broke her whole world. It was gut-wrenching. I then advised her to get a lawyer and proceeded to give her a copy of all the collected evidence and my business card. Fast forward about 6 months. I'm called into court, as my company is suing him for fraud, breach of contract, and unpaid dues. My company wins the case easily, as his lawyer's argument was that we failed to deliver the result he wanted. But we weren't hired to deliver a product. We were hired to observe and report. We got paid in the end. I was contacted as I was leaving the courthouse by the wife who thanked me for all the evidence. She got a divorce. Because of all the evidence I gave her, she got almost everything. His huge house, both cars, and a huge cash sum. We coincidentally bumped into each other again about 6 months later in the local mall. We caught up over coffee and we are currently dating. It's so comforting to know you can trust someone.